Hello, Kelsey Taylor here. Now tonight we're talking about certain movies and one TV episode that scared me when I was younger. Now, just to clarify, I'm only talking about movies that I remember getting scared by, like, before I was 18, like, as a kid. It's kind of weird. When I was growing up, I wasn't really been scared by a lot of horror movies, like, or, well, I wouldn't say horror movies. I hate that kind of genre. Horror is my least favorite, but like certain kids films and PG-13 films, like there weren't a lot of movies that really scared me when I was younger. So this is gonna be a very small selection. And I also counted, like, I was writing down certain films that I remember that when I was a kid I was real scared by. Like I remember certain ones that creeped me out, and some of these for really stupid reasons. And I was trying to remember. I'm gonna go through the ones I have on DVD first. I'm gonna go through the ones I don't own that I remember being bit creeped out by it when I was younger, like before I was 18. So let's get on with it. And just to be clarified, they're not horror movies. And maybe you can relate to this. Like if you were scared by these when you were younger too, then okay. The first one I have is PBs Big Adventure. There was one scene in the movie that I remember being kind of creeped out by, and of course the one scene that scared everybody is the Large Marsh scene, but the one that got to me the most, which when I was younger I couldn't watch that one scene until like later I got used to it now, but back then I would cover my eyes, was when Pee-wee is left on his own, like he's in the dark and you see his eyes, like it's all pitch black, and then when he puts his light goggles on, he sees all these animals, he freaks out. I remember when I was younger, for some reason it scared the crap out of me. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe it was just all pitch black with just little teeny tiny white dots that are Pee-wee's eyes that creeped me out. I gotten over it now, but when I was a kid, it was like the most scariest thing ever. Yeah, he was scarier than the Large Marsh scene, and the dream sequence, I don't know. The next one is, and by the way, this is probably going to be spoiler, because this movie is a movie you can't talk about too much without spoiling it. There's one scene in Ghost that used to scare me. I saw this film when I was like, I think 10 years old, 11, something like that. Was when Patrick Swayze's character's killer gets killed, and the demons, it happens towards the end of the movie too. These black demons from hell started like coming up from the ground, started taking the two bad guys to hell. Like I remember when I was a kid, especially on the faces of the demons were so scary and so creepy. It was, I don't know. I remember those two parts of the movie really creeped me out. But don't think of this as a horror movie if you're not familiar with this. It's a beautiful romantic film with Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, and Whoopi Goldberg, who won an Oscar for it, which is also won for Best Original Screenplay. But I remember that one scene in the movie with those black demons. That was creepy. And this one I almost didn't pick, but I remember getting scared by like I don't watch a lot of disaster films. I was trying to remember specific ones that used to scare me when I was younger, because I think my brother or my mom back then used to play them in the background, but I couldn't get into them. This one I remember getting kind of a bit scared by is The Day After Tomorrow. I think this used to be my brother's DVD, but he just left it here, I guess. There's certain scenes in the movie that really, really creeped me out. So that's the one I remember when I was younger, like I couldn't, and I didn't know who Jake Gyllenhaal was at the time, so it didn't really help much. This one, man, I remember seeing this, I was like 12 or 13, and I couldn't even finish it until like much later. Is the original Left Behind, where the people start disappearing, like starting on the plane, and then and I remember the scene once it gets to the scene, like after the plane scene, like the scene onto the highway, I literally walked out of the room. It was scaring me really bad, and it took me until like a year later to watch this all the way through. And for a Christian film, like more of a thriller, it's kind of decent. This is one with Kirk Cameron. The Left Behind remake with Nicolas Cage I liked as well. Was much more, but this is the one like when I was younger, like I almost couldn't sit through it. I remember like it was really, I don't know. I don't think it was something I was supposed to. I actually watched it with my mom, and then when I got to that one scene, as I mentioned, I walked out of the room. I was like, I can't watch this. Now this one, it's kind of ridiculous. It is a comedy classic. I love my Python. But the killer rabbit scene in my pipe and the Holy Grail, I remember as a kid that was the creepiest thing. I remember watching this movie when I was another time I watched it like when I was in middle school. And I don't think any of my classmates have seen it before. Then the killer rabbit scene, like I had my head around because it was like that little white bunny just jumping up, killing them. I know it's supposed to be comedic, but for some reason it scared the shit out of me. I couldn't watch it. Everyone in the class was laughing. Like, I guess they all loved it, but I was just like, turning my head. I was like, God. I mean, now I haven't watched this movie in a while, so I probably have to watch that scene again, see if it really scares me still, or I don't know. Just the killer rabbit scene, that was, I don't know, something about, it's supposed to be funny, but I don't know, I just didn't like watching it when I was younger. Another embarrassing one, and I talked about this before, a long time ago. I did a review on these movies, the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids films, if you want to watch that. It's in the movie reviews playlist on my channel. And it's Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, which is the sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And this is the third film, Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves. I got through Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like, all the way through. I like them. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid was the one I never got through that much, or never watched that much. I used to have it on tape as a kid, but there was one scene in the movie, like a certain character's reaction to something. I don't know, it's another one of those movies where when I knew the moment was coming up, I would leave the room, because it creeped me out so bad. I think I kind of gotten over it when I was older, when I watched it, like about, I don't know, 6 years ago. I haven't even looked at it again since I've done that video talking about those movies. But yeah, that's like one scene in the movie. Like in the first 10 minutes or so, I remember that one. It used to creep me out for some reason. Now this one I remember kind of like, this movie wasn't like traumatizing, but there was one scene that got me like thinking about something else in real life. Like what happens if you leave stuff in the toaster for too long? Like when it's plugged in, would it go up in smoke? Like, is the Brave Little Toaster, the dream sequence where a toaster goes up in flames, like not really in flames, but like with smoke coming out. I remember that scene creeped me out. I was always afraid, like every single time I would toast something in the toaster, I would always remember just take it out immediately once it's done and unplug the toaster, because I feared the toaster may go up in smoke like in the movie. This is a pretty good film. Like I think some people gotten scared by it as a kid when they were kids, but I got through it okay. It's just that one scene. But this one's like, I think, an underrated Disney film that not many people talk about, but this is the one I used to watch a lot on TV and rented a lot, so this one's like definitely a childhood favorite of mine. And this one, another ridiculous one, it's like one of my all-time favorite movies. PBs Big Adventure is one of them too, but in Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, where the scene where Ace is looking for the dolphin, he's at some party or something. He's like at the fish tank. He's like above it, holding a fish, like above the water. Goes, "Snowflake, I got this for you. Come on out!" And the shark came roaring out of the water. That was the part I remember that scared me. I can now watch the scene all the way through now without, skipping it. But I remember when I was a kid, when the shark came out of the water, something about it was so scary. Like, but like when I watch the scene now, I laugh my ass off. But back then, I couldn't watch it. I would wait until, Ace falls in the water, and then I would get back watching it again. But the shark came roaring out of the water. It was, I don't know if it caught off anyone's guard, but I remember that scene would make me jump. Now this one, I don't think I ever talked about this much, but I have a weird phobia of frogs. I mean, I love Kermit the Frog, cartoon frogs I can handle, but if you show me a real life picture of a frog, or you're holding a real life frog to me right now, I wouldn't handle it whatsoever. In E.T. Extraterrestrial, there was a scene where Elliot releases the frogs, like he's in this science class, he releases the frogs free, like all across the school. I remember that scene used to creep me out really bad. I couldn't watch it. I mean, I couldn't look at the frog in the face. I remember when I was younger, I used to this is back when I was living in Pennsylvania. There used to be like a little creek stream behind my house, and I always go there, like, just, like play around in the stream a little bit, and then there'll be frogs staring right at me, directly at me, and I'd be staring them into their eyes, into their soul. It's so creepy. Like I would literally run away and scream. And when I noticed, like, in the frogs, you wouldn't know where they were there, and the eyes they're staring you straight right at you. I'm having Oh, vivid memories. Oh my god, when I was like very young, 5, 6, 7 years old. Really bad. Thinking about it, oh god, it's like one of those things that scarred me for life. But, yeah, that's the one scene in this movie that I remember getting scared by. Now, here are the ones that I don't own. And the TV episode I'll talk about at the end. And I'll probably show images, like I don't movie posters or something in this video. I'll probably edit this one. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Excuse me. The first one I saw when I was like I think it was like 11 years old. I didn't know what I was thinking. I read this from all these I saw back in Pennsylvania. When I was 11, I saw Jaws, and I don't know what I was thinking. I remember renting this on tape at the library back when the library used to carry VHS tapes. Like, basically, I've not seen a library that carries tapes anymore in the last 10 years or so. But I don't know why I rented Jaws. I guess I was like wanting to watch something different. Like I watch different stuff now, but back then I guess I was into it, but didn't do as much as I do now. But Jaws, oh my god! I mean, anyone who's seen Jaws will know what I'm talking about. Like, it hasn't scared me from going back into the water. It's just like, especially the scene where Jaws kills that one kid. I couldn't handle watching it. I didn't know what I was thinking. Yeah, that's the one that scared me. Another one that scared me is the original Exorcist. I know a lot of people have been creeped out by it too. On the first viewing, like, I'd never seen anything so creepy in my life. Back in the 6th grade, I think, an old friend of mine found this movie on TV. Like, that's just a certain channel, I can't remember the name of it. Used to play this movie a lot, and she found this movie and put it on, and we watched it. I didn't know what it was, and it was the most disturbing shit I have ever seen. With the girl being possessed by the devil, and like, it was the most bizarre movie I've ever seen, and almost became fascinated. Like, I would like try to find that movie on TV again. Like, this was back when I first saw it, and try to watch all the way through. But it was so disturbing. As a 13-year-old, this was so hard to digest. I mean, it was really creepy, and like, I don't think it would be creepy as now if you watched it a million times. Like, I haven't watched that movie since then, but on the first viewing, it's something you would never forget, and with a disturbing feeling. Now, this is the ultimate one that got me as a kid, is Jurassic Park. Even the other Jurassic Park movies got to, I think the second one did as well. The third one, I remember falling asleep to it in the theater when I was younger. I don't think I've seen it again since, and I've not seen Jurassic World or its sequel. But Jurassic Park is the one that comes to mind. Like it was something my brother was into, so he used to put on this movie a lot. The scenes, the big T-Rex something about the scenes with the big T-Rex always scare me. Like, I still get goosebumps thinking about it. The one scene I remember that scared me more than anything in the film was that one dinosaur that killed Wayne Knight's character with those things sticking out his face, like, ah! Like, I remember that scene used to creep me out. But the T-Rex scenes, something about it was so massive and so scary. And even to this day, I would occasionally have dreams of encountering a big T-Rex. Like not too long ago, I had a dream of a big T-Rex down to my size, like in my kitchen, trying to attack me. And I would occasionally have dreams of those big T-Rexes. They're that massive. But that's the one film that used to scare me when I was younger. Another one I got scared by when I was younger, this is the last movie, by the way, is the live-action Jungle Book. Not the one from 2016, the one from 1994, which I'm sure a lot of people my age or a little bit older may remember. I realized it's the one scene that scared everybody. Like, it scared me too, was when one of the bad guys drowns in the quicksand. I remember that one was so hard to watch. I remember that used to scare me. Yeah. Talk about a certain death scene in a Disney movie that really got you. That was the one that got to me, even though it was a bad guy. I don't know. It just, I mean, let me know if that scene scared you. But I remember, like, that made me be afraid of quicksands because of that. Now, the last one is not really a movie, but it's an episode of a TV show that recently I've been watching a lot, like during quarantine, back when I wasn't going to work. But I remember it was somebody in my house used to put it on. I think it was my brother or my mother. I don't know. They haven't talked about it that much. is in season 3 of the X-Files. The episode's called, it says Quagmire. It looks like it's Quagmire, but who knows? It's in the 3rd season, and the opening to it, when that guy was like walking around, it was full with frogs. You get my idea now when I was talking about the scene in E.T. That scene, that creeped me out, and I, like, especially when I was watching that episode again, and I'll get to it more with it later, when the guy was getting dragged into the water, somebody drags him in the water, and all these frogs, I remember that part used to creep out of me, and with the frogs in the background, and, I saw it when I was like, I don't know, 7 years old or something. And at first I thought that I, like, and I had no memory of seeing the rest of the episodes since then. Like, the episode's a bit creepy though, but I thought it was going to be like about a frog killing monster, or like a, like not like a monster that kills frogs though, but I thought it was going to be like a frog creature, and I watched the episode for the first time in 20 years, like in the past few months. And it wasn't what I thought it was. It was something different. I don't know, but I remember that was the one, like, the show itself is creepy. Like, I can't think of anything else from the X-Files I had any memories of scaring me, but that was the one part I remember from that show I used to get creeped out by because of the opening and the frogs, and that was the one that stuck to me for years. And I can't believe it took me until now to finally, you know, watch the episode and watch the whole thing. I still can't get over it. Like, if there's frogs in the background or anything, I just turn my head. Like, I can't watch it. It's like, please, save me, Mulder and Scully. Come back on screen. Yeah. But X-Files is a show that I appreciate more as I gotten older. But that one episode at the beginning of the frogs, that's the one I would tend to skip. So that's my video talking about movies and that TV show episode that I saw when I was a kid that scared me. So let me know what you think of this video, and if there's any other movie moments that scared you when you were a kid, or certain TV episodes or stuff. I just basically just picked the ones I remember when I got scared by it, and this would probably be completely else from different from someone else's stuff. Since we're all different, and I get scared by certain things, like there's certain things that scare me now, like in certain films. I guess as I get older, I get more emotionally involved in films. These are the ones I remember that creeped me out when I was a kid, and especially a certain one which I still have dreams about, Big T-Rex, and hope I don't see one outside my window now. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Adios.